they were very poor investments, and yeah, I ended up with nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I made a fuckload of
investments
money.
and stuff.
I never saw a dime.
Yeah.
You know, like I like to say, the only thing I have to show for it are my mom's tits. You know, so, but
like in a jar? Or?
Yeah.
Today, we're sitting down with one of the cutest to ever do it. From the terrifyingly adorable Gage Creed in the 1989 classic Pet Sematary to the line everyone remembers from Kindergarten Cop.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
And Michelle's most out-of-pocket classmate in Full House. We'd like to welcome Miko Hughes.
Hi, Miko.
Hey, welcome.
Guys?
Welcome to the show, dude.
Yeah, it's great to reconnect.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Just so you know, I woke up at 8 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
And I rewatched Pet Sematary for the first time in like probably fucking 30 years.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
Early morning horror. Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty good. That movie holds up.
Nice.
I think it's awesome. And I was curious, since you were so young when you did that movie, if you remember what that was like getting the call for that picture.
I was 27 months, I think, when we started filming that. I was just over 2 years old. So I don't remember the call. My memories of it are more like a fade.
How many months are you now?
You don't have to think about it. Too many at this point. Yeah, it's acting's kind of, my earliest memories of coming online have involved acting. So I don't remember anything other than that.
Right.
I don't remember actually being on set, but those are some of my earliest memories just because it's been reinforced so much.
Right.
Like my parents talked about it constantly. It's been such a big part of my life. I don't remember anything else about being that young, but that seems to have kind of stuck. When I was about 16, I did a little movie up in New Hampshire, and we were close to Maine. We actually drove to Maine and saw the house again, and the family was really sweet. They invited us in. We got to like see
that's pretty cool.
And it was weird because I couldn't tell you like what was behind a door, but as soon as I would walk in a room, it would be immediately filled.
Like deja vu.
Yeah, it was like visiting a grandparent's house.
That's wild.
It's weird to live through the stories of your childhood in like a large way like that too.
Sure.
Yeah, that's actually interesting that you going back to that house, because you know in Pasadena, Castle Green, it's where we shot a lot of the Little Rascals. And like I went to a wedding there, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and I walked in, I'm like, holy shit, like
This is it.
we shot a lot of Little Rascals in here. And I just, I hadn't thought about that since.
It's just a physical
Forever.
space can unlock like neurons or something.
Yeah, it's a while.
When you're that young, it's like we were like 6 and older.
Yeah.
You're you're more self-sufficient. So like, is the ADs helping to change you if you need, or like give you food, or are they just calling your mom in to like in between takes more than the average like child actor? Because like that's a very different age group.
Yeah, no, my mom was very present and active on set. I think she even told a story. There was a time where they were trying to get either the set teacher or somebody on set to say like, it's okay, we got it. And she was like, hell no, you're not. I'm not letting my kid out of my sight. I'll stay out of the way, but I'm there.
Love that.
So she was good about, I guess, establishing that early on.
Yeah,
That's
she was
different.
She was a good protector.
Yes.
But like they're not trained to deal with like toddlers as much as like young kids.
Well, you were breastfed on set, right?
Wasn't by your mom though. No. She was a little more. She gave a little more freedom and Lex on set. Yeah.
Do you remember kind of like what age you figured out like, wow, I'm an actor, like, I'm important.
No, man, I think I remember knowing it was unique and special, and that I was lucky that not all kids got to do this. That's my memory of it. My mom says, I think at a certain point, I didn't know that that's not what everybody did, that it was
It's just your life.
special. Yeah. I just didn't know any different. I didn't have
You wake up, you go to Santa Monica 3 times for auditions.
I didn't have a frame of reference beforehand. So it kind of, that understanding developed later on.
I feel the same exact way. Like that's the same thing. Like you just felt like this is what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
What we do.
I didn't sign up for this. Like
It was fun.
but it was great.
I wasn't anti. I wasn't against it. I knew it was like a good thing.
Yeah, and it was a unique thing that like you knew that other kids weren't doing, and then It was, I mean, that's an interesting way to look at it. Like,
fun.
yeah, it was fun.
blast.
It was a lot of fun.
It was difficult times for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's difficult. Just being a kid is difficult.
I don't think you know it's difficult until you're a little older too.
Maybe, and I think
Because it's really fun from the kid experience.
parents probably took the brunt of that as well, because you know, they're the ones having to do the scheduling and parking, and driving, and you know,
Well, even like
with coaches or whatever.
we talked about it. Like you and me were like competition, you know, technically in auditions. Yeah. That like I would show up and Mom's like, oh, it's Miko here. Oh. But then like we'll
Take the compliment.
but we would play. Like we would play, and I'm sure you would with others.
I was
like we wouldn't.
homeschooled,
Yeah.
So it was that was kind of like, I would look forward to that. I wouldn't want, sometimes I wouldn't want the audition to happen because it's like, I get to have the social interaction. I get to hang out with my friends and stuff.
It's funny how that, like, no one would know, like, the social aspect of that for us is hanging out with our competitors in that weird sense, but our parents have a different view of it. Like, I wonder, I forget if, like, parents were friendly, but
some of that, but I think the parents probably felt that more than we did. Thankfully.
That's why it's funny.
Yeah. I definitely think like I don't know about yours, but my mom, she loved that camaraderie, like with the other like studio moms.
Sure.
You know,
I think she made a ton of friends.
yeah, and I think that
It gives them a
became
belonging too.
what's that?
It gives them a belonging too. And
Yeah, it gives them a belonging, and and honestly, like they played a huge part in our success.
Yeah.
You know, because that was a full-time job.
Yeah.
you know?
No, there's no way.
They were pushing that product. You know.
How did you first get into it at that age?
The story that I've been told a million times, obviously I don't remember, but my mom thought I was really precocious and aware, I guess, at a young age. I took direction well, and I could speak very young. I could talk before I could walk, and I forget exactly how old. It would have been, you know, at least, you know, a few months before Pet Sematary that she was driving and I was in the back seat in the you know, the little, whatever, the car seat. I said, Mama, MOBIL, and I spelled the MOBIL sign, and she was absolutely blown away. She said, and thought, let's put him in Hollywood. So and then from there she tried to get an agent. She went to Samuel French, who at the time was like, I think still is a really great resource for the industry. Now there's so much online, but that was a bookstore in LA, and they just had all industry books and resources, and a lot of like plays, like playbill type stuff, screenplays. You could get scripts there. It was really, really kind of a cool spot.
Yeah.
She got a book that had a listing of all the agents, and she looked up who's the biggest child agent in LA. I'm just going to try to shoot through the top, and you know, go from there, see what happens. And it was Mary Grady Agency at the time, and she took me in, tried to get a meeting. They said, sorry, we're not taking new clients at this time. Kind of got stopped at reception. But she would just hang out. They'd had like posters on the wall, and she'd have me talk about them and point and, you know, interact, and just kind of, she'd be there for some time. And so the receptionist would kind of like get to know me or get a sense of, you know, who this kid is, just being there in the vicinity. And she did that for like 9 months. She said, every week or two, she'd go in, oh, is there any potential? Just, I was in the area kind of thing. Oh, nope, sorry, not today. And then I think for about 9 months, she said she did that. And the receptionist got a promotion as like a junior agent or whatever it would be. And she pulled my headshot first, wanted to give me a shot, and I booked the first 3 things I went out on. And about 2 months later, from then was Pet Sematary.
I don't.
So Mary Grady, then, you know, the head agent, called me in and said with her and said, you know, where have you been all this time?
Who's this kid?
Yeah, and my mom said, been knocking on your door for 9 months.
Your mom's persistence paid off.
Yeah, I was thankful to her.
Yeah. And then that girl got promoted again, probably right after.
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome.
What's your relationship like with your mom now?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys pretty close?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Right on.
Is that who you would like practice lines with back and forth when you're growing up? Because I did that. It got weirder and more of like frustrating as I got older.
Because it's awkward with your parents.
Because you don't want to take feedback from that.
Yeah, you
But you have to
transition to a coach at that point.
Because you're too young to know you need to take feedback, but also it's the same we are now. You don't take feedback from your friends as much as like some person online.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing. Yeah.
Did you? I mean, Did you ever drive yourself to auditions? Like, I mean, were you?
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. When I was real young though, I couldn't read. So
Yeah.
you know, and when you're still okay with your parents, they would kind of feed you the lines.
Yeah.
Just you would kind of memorize through repetition.
Right.
But I kind of learned to read with scripts in a way.
That gave me the memory that I think got me A's all through school.
Nice.
Because I would just memorize the words on the page, like in school.
Yeah.
Because because we trained it like a muscle.
Yeah.
As a kid.
That's probably why I never made it in theatrical. You know, it's just I was more of a facial expression kid.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe one or two one-word lines. You know, max. Other than that, like, you know, next. Where's Adam Wiley?
That's what you guys probably all did see each other a lot, especially because they'd always cast often on like type.
Yeah.
So I know we all saw each other on auditions, but did you guys get like the redhead thing? Is that why you encountered each other so much?
100%.
Such good friends?
Yeah, I mean, like, it was the. Are you talking about Jordan and I?
Yeah.
I did have reddish hair as a kid, but I was like smaller than him.
Yeah.
I thought it was red. Maybe not.
It was, I mean,
No, Adam was.
it was redder, and then it got darker a little over the years, but we were auditioning for the same role.
My mom dyed it redder too. I mean, every week we used to go to the salon like every week and do a touch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like carrot top red.
Yeah.
That was
Carrot
cool.
top red. It was ridiculous.
He was just like a different size than me, like in terms of the role.
Well, we actually knew each other before Little Rascals. Like our parents
crazy.
were already friends and like just auditions. Yeah. From auditions, just because we would play together and like, you know, and we hit it off and our parents made friends and then we ended up doing that movie together. So
That's right.
just like
But that was fun when you found out you both were on it. Cause
Yeah.
like we get to hang out.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Do this project together.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. I think it's like work like that.
I definitely remember going on auditions and like it was like, oh, they're looking for a redheaded kid who is, you know, could play a bully. Because I was always playing like a bully type, you know, like classic 90s spiky hair redheaded bully, right? The kind of kid you would punk nowadays, you know, not in the 90s though.
That's funny. In the 90s, you guys were red town.
Yeah, how the tables have turned.
Took a lot of years.
But yeah, auditions were always fun. I think it got old going back and forth from Hollywood and Santa Monica constantly every single day.
I'm kind of jealous of the kids in the industry these days because they can put everything on tape. You can hear it all.
Do I even go on auditions anymore?
I heard they don't really.
I would imagine it like near maybe the final callback. I don't think so.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Do you think that's better? Like in the last acting class I took, a big part of it was literally training on the audition process every week and bringing yourself without trying too hard. Almost like they would rate you on like, oh, you were laying it on thick.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, that would get you remembered when you weren't right for the role right away. And like
the interaction
like
between the two.
in your story. Yeah. She remembered you because she liked you and your mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you were just on a tape with some audition, you might have been at the bottom of the tape list with everyone else.
Yeah.
I think there's pros and cons to it. I think that's interesting. You do get a personal relationship getting the face to face. So I think there's, you know, it's good if you can go in, but I like if you're putting yourself on tape, you know, you're always going to be happy with the take because you're not going to sing if you flub it.
Yeah.
And also I always thought auditioning and actually performing in the scene on set are completely different skill sets.
Yeah.
I don't think, yes and no, but at least for me, I never really felt like a strong audition is fully indicative of how it'll be on set.
No, it's like taking tests. Some people are good at taking tests.
But you know, they may not have that knowledge retention or applicability or whatever it might be. And I think it's cool. You can set up, and maybe this is more the filmmaker mind I had nowadays, but you could set up the scene. You don't have to have a gray wall with the lights and the echo and the nothing to react to. You can say like it's a scene in the kitchen. You can be in the kitchen and throw the cereal in the scene.
You can use a real bowl.
Yeah, you don't have to like. I never liked the pantomime skill, like trying to get good at that and not just being in this. I don't know.
Did you ever bring props? As I got older, I sometimes would. As I got older, I got a little more bold. I remember one time in the scene, the kid would take his pants down and like for something he was playing video games and did something to like scare someone. Okay. And like I walked in and had my pants fall at the beginning of the audition. They're like, whoa. I'm like, oh, just for the scene. And my coach was like, you want to just be bold for this one? Yeah. And it really went bad. And it was completely wrong.
Sometimes that could work.
But sometimes I think it works. That's the funny thing. I like the idea of a prop. Like, don't bring spoons with you for no reason, but like clothing and stuff matters.
Yeah, there's times it could work. There was one in particular I remember where it was between me and another kid. And I remember it was like a sci-fi kind of thing. It was supposed to be maybe post-apocalyptic-ish.
Yeah.
And he dressed up and he was like dirty and like, and I wasn't. And I think, and it was close. It was between the two of us. And I was like, maybe he had the better performance.
That was nonchalant enough to maybe imagine him in
But
it.
I thought, man, that might have been what pushed it over the edge because they don't have to imagine it. They can just see it.
That's even in the industry I'm in now, like when you could remove the imagination from somebody else, that I think helps. And you can really say like, I can be this person in the world. Let me put the world around me a little bit.
Sure.
Do you remember what was it called? The like when we were getting sent out on audition and you got those sheets that were like what it was looking for. Do you remember, there was a word for those, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
Size card.
Was it a size card?
Was it
There might have been another name for it, but it was like it had your what's your shoe size?
the breakdown.
T-shirt.
breakdown?
Was it a breakdown?
Do you mean the breakdown that came with
The description of who you are. Like
What your agent sent to your mom when you were going for the audition.
the breakdown.
I was thinking of what you hand in with your.
That was like a resume.
I think it was the breakdown that had like
Yes,
here's
it's breakdown.
So
10-year breakdown.
It's like a paragraph character description. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think that like sometimes the parents took it really far. Like, oh, this is for a kid who's trying out for a football role, so I'm gonna go put him in pads.
Yeah.
He's gonna be ready to go. I auditioned for like a hockey thing one time, and like I don't know how to ice skate, know nothing about hockey. But my mom reached out to one of our neighbors who was a hockey player and had him take me to Isoplex.
Yeah, I remember
I think he was in Van Nuys.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. And he like taught me he was like teaching me how to ice skate and play hockey and stuff, like as if this would have any impact on the interview whatsoever.
You were method.
Oh yeah, I wasn't that good. But
Blake Lewis.
yeah, my mom. Yeah, that was one of her favorite things to do, was really get me in the character.
How many of us had skills on our resume that we like? I think I was a black belt in karate.
Oh yeah.
But really I was like a yellow belt. I was like, I could water ski. For the three ninjas, you had to be like a real expert as a kid.
Yeah.
And I still auditioned. I'm sure you spoke languages or did something.
Yeah, I always felt like I should have had more on there. I would just put things I'd like rollerblading.
Yeah.
I like that. I like skateboarding.
You gotta be well rounded. Like I horseback riding, I never rode one, but that came up a number of times.
Horseback riding was on mine too.
I did. So I did some
You can learn if you
horseback
had to.
riding where it was like the same thing where it's like, all right, you're going to, actually, I think it was for a film where I was going to be around horses. So it's like, let's get used to them. And to this day, it wasn't, well, maybe it was a little bit because of that. I hate horses. I'm not a horse fan. And I remember having to like train to ride a horse for this stupid thing. And yeah.
And you had a couple of siblings, right? Or you have a couple siblings. Yeah. How was it growing up from their perspective too? Because like, were they in the industry at all? Were you the only one?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you because when I started in the industry, my mom had a family, divorced, remarried, and had me when by the time her first kids were having kids. So they were all out of the house. Okay. So I kind of grew up as an only child, even though I do have brothers and a sister. Sure. They're almost like relationally, they're almost more like aunts and uncles.
Oh, right.
That's different.
My nephews are like cousins. Like we grew up together, kind of some of my best friends at that age.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious now. I never really thought about it as a kid, but as an adult, I'm curious if they had thoughts or, what their take on it was. I'm sure they
well, because I'm sure you got recognized a lot walking around.
Sure.
So if you're with them, I always wonder, because that for my siblings was like weird, and my brother would like walk further ahead of me at the mall after the Rascals came out.
Just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah. And your brother was a few years older, so it was he was like, he was like a cool teenager. He was like, our cool older teenager friend.
Yeah.
But like in my case, because I have siblings too. I have a younger sister, and I always felt like she kind of was like a little bit in the shadow. And kind of got a little less attention just because it was all on me for so long.
Sure.
And like even to this day, like I hold resentments for that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's got to be hard. And it's not your fault or their fault or anything. It's just the situation.
Well, because you were in a business and doing a job.
Yeah.
It needs a lot of attention.
Yeah. Too much attention.
How was transitioning? I think probably similar experience to me of like when you're the cute kid. Sure. The cast directors know you. They probably call you into director like a lot of times directly because they just know you up to a certain point. Yeah. And then for me, after like 13, it's different casting. Like, sorry, like we can't bring you in, Jordan. Like, you're too old for this.
To start over. And
You just start over with a resume, right?
yeah, and then the agencies are kind of segregated between adult and kids.
And when you're
sometimes adult agencies.
and when you're transitioning, it's hard
Right.
yeah,
because you're not their side really.
and I think it can go either way, but I think it happens to a lot of kids in the industry. Like being a teenager is your most awkward, and being your most public at your most awkward is not an easy thing, I think, for anyone. So I think it's usually a transition point for most people, most kids.
Were you still doing it at those ages, like 12, 13, 14?
Yeah, I think 12 was like Mercury Rising, and which was interesting. That was kind of the biggest feature. And then after that, I think it kind of started slowing down. I'm curious how much of it was just a natural transition and just family life stuff at home was getting real rocky.
Yeah.
I think my heart wasn't in acting as much anymore, so I wasn't. Maybe it had a feedback loop of like struggling and then not booking as much and then not happy at home and not happy with acting because of at home, and then it just kind of had a natural, like it's still, I was doing, I think I did like a Burger King commercial, early 20s. So it's always was like there, but it was fading, definitely.
Do you feel like your career was like fueling the rockiness at home?
I think it was a magnifier. I think the rockiness between my parents would have manifested regardless.
Yeah.
But I think being kind of the sole income put me right in the middle of divorce and the stress of, financial things at home. That's, not a place a kid should be, but
No, definitely not.
the nature of the situation. So I think it just turned the volume up on it. It might have been tough anyway, but it definitely magnified things.
Would you have changed anything? Just like to make the situation different in your family? Like
Yeah, it's one of those things that's like hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah,
Knowing
totally.
what I know now, I know exactly, well, maybe not exactly, or I know what I would have tried or done or thought. But looking back, if I could just do it again exactly the same way, I would.
Yeah.
It was tough. There's definitely some rough spots, but I look at some of my peers, and thankfully it seems like we all made it out fairly unscathed.
Yeah.
I know there's
it's for
friends
everyone.
we have or had that didn't have it so well, and maybe they were more famous and they had it worse. So
I wonder if it almost like helped, because like if parents are going to get divorced either way or something happens in that direction, maybe if this area of what we did in the family exposes things about people easier, that almost makes it better, versus otherwise it might have stretched out longer.
maybe.
And that's like, it helps, maybe it's better, helps your mom, helps the family.
Regardless of them, just on a personal level, I like to think that it helped me be a better person.
Yeah.
Because I wonder, just if only, I always wanted to kind of be normal at some level. There was parts of it I loved, but then parts of it were like weird.
Yeah.
And especially when that all happened, it was like, okay, I felt like I was so ahead of the game in so many ways. Like I'd traveled and met and done all these things that so many kids at such a young age could never even dream of.
Yeah.
But then in other things, like I was homeschooled. I was kind of awkward. I didn't have the best social life because I was so used to being around adults. Like I would hang out with other kids at the auditions. I was homeschooled because, you guys know it's easier to, you're always traveling, or when you're working, you don't want to get pulled out of school. You're used to working off-site.
Having lunch at Blue's Clues, right?
Yeah.
Were you homeschooled through high school?
The whole time.
Well, you did high school too.
Yeah.
That's
It was something.
I did it 1st to 5th, and it let me know I really wanted to go to school then.
Yeah.
Doing it in high school, like that's a harder area to catch up on. I think so. I understand that.
So I think it, in so many ways I was ahead. In other ways I was behind.
Yeah.
Stepping away from the industry kind of helped me become a real, like hopefully, I like to think, a more well-rounded person.
How empowering
than I
though
would have been otherwise,
when you decide to step away?
Yeah.
That's like very empowering.
Sure.
Versus, well, sometimes it's chosen for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a
totally.
little column A, little column B. I think it was
Yeah.
the right time.
But I think I had this, like, I was still auditioning well with a good manager in high school. But like you said, I was very into high school and having fun.
Sure.
So like we were naturally good enough to like do a better read than others.
Yeah.
But if your heart's not in it, you don't, maybe
You're not gonna be
you're
there.
getting called back, you're not getting there.
Yeah, you'll get a call back, but you won't get
And that,
Or maybe a second callback,
that-
but you're not going to go to the final.
Right.
You know?
but that helps push you to the decision of like, do I want to go through this and get nothing out of it? But I was always happy, like, we have a resume, we traveled, we did things that most are desperate to try to do when they move here. And we already had that. And then we could live a life. And then full circle now, you can decide if you want to create content or start this podcast. Like for us, it's fun to do it in our own choice.
Yeah.
And have that break of like knowing what you want to do.
Yeah, now I've kind of been dabbling, stepping back a little bit. I did a short film that I'm really happy with a couple years ago now that I think because I always thought like, oh, you're a kid actor, like, are you? And I not that I think I'm great or anything at acting, but I had that passion of like, I want to try. And of course, I'm still going to pick myself apart if I watch it. There's things about it, but I'm really happy to say I did something as an adult that I'm proud of.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That I think like, and I'd like to do more, but if that's all it is, I'm like, that for me was kind of a cool like bucket list.
At some point, it's what you want. It's kind of like,
Check that off.
yeah.
that's why we're doing this.
Yeah, it's kind of that's definitely a. I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this a little bit. For me, at
And all
least.
the huge money that comes from podcasting.
It's mostly therapy for me. Yeah. Yeah. We're waiting for our big sponsorship.
Yeah. Well, no one's doing podcasts, so I think you guys are.
Yeah.
I've heard-
no,
I've
no,
heard
like
they're pretty
40-year-olds are doing
They're pretty under the
podcasts.
radar. Now it's like you have a driver's license and here's my podcast link on Instagram.
Just a QR code on the
Yeah, just better.
driver's
That's
license.
what's coming next.
Miko, you said something interesting that Jordan and I have touched on. Growing up way faster than most kids do.
Sure.
Because we spent so much time on sets and we were working. I call us like working man's child actors. Like we worked all the time, you know, like getting picked up from school every day early. But at least I was, because I wasn't homeschooled. Which that brought a whole nother set of issues, like, you know, because you get bullied and, you know, kids are like, oh, you must be rich, like, you know.
You think you're fancy?
Yeah, why'd you jump in the mud?
The weird
Yeah,
bullying that
exactly,
you don't
know.
realize it's because they recognize you're different in a cool way, but bullying is still bullying.
Yes.
And you don't know it at the age.
Yeah, they're gonna pick on you for whatever.
Yeah.
That's just a target.
That is an interesting thing, like how we were kind of forced to grow up so much faster because of our experience and like spending so much time with adults and traveling and like memorizing lines and having to be here on time and like, you know, oh, here's your costume. Make sure you don't spill anything on it. Like just little things like that. We were forced to
Getting makeup put on.
Well, because
it's still you're
they expect you to listen and do things. Those ADs aren't necessarily all parents. Like they're young people trying to give direction, and they're not told they're going to treat hang out with 10-year-olds all day.
Yeah, potentially. It's funny. My credits weren't horror growing up.
Sure.
Because I was fortunate enough to be in two decent horror movies. That fan base is so rabid. There is a subculture to it.
When they remade it, did that get you like, were they people like endlessly following you on social media when they remade Pet Sematary? Like just recently?
You know, I was really curious about the Pet Sematary remake. I was very hopeful, and I think there are parts of it it's very good. I think on the whole, it kind of falls flat, unfortunately.
No, but wouldn't that mean, I thought normally because then it's like yours is the real one and people would come back to follow you like reminiscing.
Surprisingly not so much. Maybe I think I had a pop on like Instagram followers around that time.
Sure.
But not like, in the thousands, but it didn't feel like here's this way.
Maybe that's good for the cons then.
right.
Yeah, I think conventions, it definitely helped. But as far as like day-to-day life, it didn't really feel a huge, it is not as much as I was actually expecting.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe the biggest thing was they released Funko Pops, the little collectible figurines that everyone loves. They did Gage Funko.
Oh, they did?
And I think it's
I bet that's cute as fuck.
I think it's more because in the new film, Gage is less of the focus. So the fact that they made the figurine, I think, is more in a nod to the original. Because people ended up doing like 3 variants.
Right.
That's all. I don't think fun helps us get variants.
That makes a lot, like the con thing, being that you were part of those two, like the Stephen King universe and then John Carpenter.
Wes Craven.
Wes Craven. Yes. Shit.
It's like
being that you were part.
No, you're fine.
But I mean, those are pretty cool universes to be a part of, and like obviously have massive fan bases and followings that would like, you know, that's something that's gonna, you know, be around forever.
Very
like
thankful.
those.
It's fun to be in a movie that you'd otherwise be scared of to watch at that age too.
Right?
Because like, I watched Freddy Krueger because my brother was 6 years older.
Right.
Like that idea is terrifying.
Oh, sure.
It was over your dreams. It was like, it also kind of like the original pedophile.
Yeah.
But scarily.
They never really dived into it in the originals. They kind of went into it deeper on the remake,
which was an interesting take, but I think people didn't like how it was done. It didn't really land.
But that was always the scariest. Like Jason and Michael Myers.
They never said he did that, so I think maybe it was implied, but they just
felt like it.
They just wanted to make it the worst, like the scariest. You know?
But that's cool to be able to that transition to be in those cons, because I feel like those. It's the real fans that go to those, and it's probably a nice experience to see people like who generally love the genre or the film, and you're like, that's cool, like you really like it, versus a random request on Instagram for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole subculture community. I made friends at those that are lifelong friends. I've known for 15 or more years now.
That's awesome. Yeah. Your body of work is like pretty fucking crazy. Like, from Pet Sematary, like Spawn, like the most out-of-pocket guest star ever in Full House. Like every time you were on that show, it was like you were gonna say something absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Are you proud? Are you proud of your body of work? Is there like how do you feel about it now?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I don't know if I've ever been asked that directly. I suppose so. I don't think of it as like, oh, I'm hot shit. No. Think of it in that. But I'm very just thankful. I'm very thankful to have been a part of that. I feel like filming is, sometimes if you're filming something that's good or not, but sometimes you don't even know how it's going to turn out. Yeah, it's like the experience of doing the thing on the day is the same either way. And I just happened to do that thing and was lucky that thing was like a brainworm. Then certain people, like it really made an impact and made an impression that people hold on to. Because some films you see stuff and you forget about it.
Yeah, it was good work.
It could have the same budget as another film, but something that is really good, that really makes an impact, that stays with you. You remember the rest of
your life. That's what the big actors say now.
People make that association with that person.
Absolutely. And I feel like you've had several things that were like very impactful, like people remember it and it's important to them. And like, I could speak for Jordan and I, like, now when we have friends who have kids and they like show their kids Little Rascals and they love it, it's like, man, like that was a cultural thing. Like people love it and it still holds up. And like, absolutely. I'm proud of it now. Yeah. I wasn't, when I was a teenager.
Same.
Yeah. There was a resentment.
There was. Sure. I didn't like that attention.
You also could have had the same amount of years of work, like all of us, and not been anything memorable.
Yeah.
Like some of our peers, and it was just a part of your life, like camp.
Sure.
But that's what I'm proud of, is like I could have. That's the lucky part,
Yeah.
I'm lucky to have been part of something that will never go away.
Yeah.
And it's looked at in a positive way. Yeah. And that's what's nice. Like we could have made the same amount of money, the same amount of work, whatever it was, and not had that. And then it's kind of like, what did you do? Sure. In a way.
Yeah.
So I like that part.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Do you get cause I get a lot of messages on social media asking if it was my real voice for Froggy. Yeah. Like, do you get people asking you to do quotes? Like the kindergarten cop line is obviously one of the most famous, like, young child lines.
When I was a kid, that was the one that I struggled with the most, because it's funny as an adult now. I can look at it and laugh. It's a cute kid saying something
fucking iconic,
provocative. I get it. It's fun. I can own it. Yeah. I think at the time it kind of haunted me, and I think my parents felt really bad because they didn't know how it was going to play out. They couldn't foresee, but being young and I'd go to the mall and 15 teenagers would all surround me, say it the line, say it. It's like I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed.
And then they leave.
People,
and then they leave.
Yeah. Or they'd ask so many questions and you don't even have time to answer one before the next. Like they don't even want an answer. It's just this like fervor or whatever. When you're a kid, that's scary. When you're a kid, you don't know how to navigate social situations anyway,
right?
And how to protect yourself.
That much attention that can be a lot.
So, and you're like being used as a fucking prop, And
I thought everyone would say it to make fun of me.
Yeah,
and that's what it felt like. So I think for a long time I didn't like the line.
What did they
feel really bad about that?
Yeah. What did they
phase?
Sure.
But they wouldn't the part that got me is in school people would like to introduce me to other people as Froggy, but not know my first name.
Yeah.
And that part,
you're not my real friend. You're just like
exactly
a prop to you.
That part took me years to like kind of.
Jordan got a lot of his friends laid.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what this guy is? No, let me introduce myself. But like that's the part that you grapple with. I think that
start charging.
Yeah. You want to use me as your wingman?
Turn to a pimp, you're saying? Yeah. That's the part that gets hard. I think
you want the voice? I'll do the voice.
It's easier when you're older though. Because then you know it, but like that's hard as a kid to be treated like a prop because it's also adults doing it too.
And you can navigate away from it when it's obvious. You're like, okay, well, I'm not, you know, when you're a kid, you think, well, they're my friend. They're being nice to me, but they're not. It's for a reason. It's fake. You know?
Right.
Well, and on social media, sometimes like I'll find myself, okay, it's nice when they say, hey, you were part of my childhood, or I love that movie you're in. Thank you. Nice to like follow each other. But then you like answer one question and then it's like 7 more and you're like, I wasn't trying to, you know, answer everything. Or and then they would always ask how much I got paid. Did you get asked that a lot as a kid? Like how much you got paid?
Maybe, probably. I think I didn't know as a kid, so I would just tell them like, I don't know. Like
I'm rich as fuck. They were always curious. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I knew. I didn't even think of it. I didn't know. I think I knew it was successful, but I don't think I realized I was doing as well as I was. Probably.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine you did pretty well. Like,
I think so. I don't know. Ask my dad. He stole it all, so he would know.
well, what I mean, I'm curious, like, because my story's a little similar to yours in you know, kind of a roundabout way, but
You kind of mentioned that. Like,
yeah, I'm curious, like, what was the relationship with your dad, and like, you know?
yeah, I think he meant well and did the best as he could for who he is.
Yeah.
And I think, again, like being in the middle, being kind of the breadwinner for the household, magnified problems, you know, in the house, especially when maybe work was slow and he wouldn't go back to work or do anything other than want to manage me. And he was, I always felt more like an employee than a son. You know, there was times where we tried to connect, but really never, I don't think we were ever able to connect. Maybe because I was so young. Maybe if we would have made it to adulthood, we could have found some sort of
Common ground.
Yeah, but the things he did as a kid, you can't really bridge that gap, in my opinion. Like, he was one of the parents, I don't want bad mouth, but like, you know, there's the Coogan laws that protects the percentage that gets put away when you turn 18. He was one of the parents. Some parents believed that shouldn't be done, and he would take me to the meetings that the parents would have of how are we going to scrap this new amendment to the law to make sure we keep getting more of the money.
Yeah.
And looking back, it's like, oh, we're going to a pizza party.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, I was why
being
did you
used
do
as a
that
prop.
to your kid, and like here I am shooting myself in the foot just because you're supposed to trust your parent.
I assume. Do you not speak to your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, after the divorce, I don't see any reason.
Sure.
I think probably better for both of us.
Was your money like invested poorly? Like, is that kind of what happened? If at all? Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he kind of ran the business.
Yeah.
There was a LLC situation.
Yeah.
And he was kind of
Just living
chief
off it.
officer of that. And,
Just living,
who knows? I couldn't tell you. I'm certainly curious.
Sure. No shit, dude.
I have a general idea, probably. And
Yeah.
and you know, if that's what it costs to be okay and be happy, you know, at the height of success also came the height of the stress
Yeah.
of everything at home that was, you know, not the best. So
Sure.
if that was the payment to be happy, which I actually became much happier.
Yeah.
And I don't blame the industry. It's not that I'm happier that I got away from acting,
Right.
but just becoming who I am and being able to grow outside of that.
That's a healthy-
kind of dealt with.
that's a healthy
I
perspective.
remember as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a wild thing. Like, I mean, my situation's pretty similar. Like, you know, they put all these laws and protections in place, but like, you know, like your dad did, my mom found a way around it where she was able to control my money. And, you know, I think her intentions were always good. Like, there was never any intent to take or steal, but, you know, they were very poor investments. And I ended up with nothing, you know, I made a fuckload of
Investments and stuff.
I never saw a dime. You know, like I like to say, the only thing I have to show for it are my mom's tits, you know, so, but.
Like in a jar? Or?
Yeah.
Like, give them back.
It's the only thing I can get out of this deal.
My friend must always know.
But I think that it's such a wild thing, because I think that that's such a common thing that we go through. I mean, Macaulay Culkin famously went through it. Sure. Like,
If you want
like you were lucky if you got to fuck off all your money on your own.
At least you got to enjoy it.
I'm actually probably lucky I never got
my own account.
Yeah.
I got the trauma blowing through a couple cars in college. Yeah. going to Vegas. I got to spend it myself.
I remember.
Yeah,
He came to my house. I had like a birthday party one time. He came to my house, and they were like barely 16, probably.
Yeah.
Well, dude rolls up in this just screaming Mustang. Like,
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh my god!
But like, I would have rather had parents to blame for not having my own money versus blame myself. I was like, we all got a version of it. Yeah. Now we have to work hard to make it.
Yeah, no shit. If you had to give any like advice to a parent who was putting their kid in child acting, like, you know, because I mean, I guess I get asked that all the time. Yeah. You know, like, would you? What do I do? Do you know an agent? Like, I don't fucking know. I was a child, dude. I didn't do anything. Like, I just sat in the back seat of a car and like played a Game Boy the whole time and just got dragged around.
I remember the drive more.
Yeah, that was it. Just me looking out a window, you know. But what would you say to, like, you know, a parent who was asking you about advice on that?
I mean, I don't know. The stage parent is definitely a cliche, but for a reason, because there's plenty of them.
Totally.
And it can be done for the right reasons. It can be done for the wrong reasons. I think as long as the kid is made for it and they really enjoy it, as long as they're enjoying it, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Thank you for checking in with them as they get older.
I think if you have a taste of success, like a monkey's paw situation, because it's like, oh, this is what we wanted, but now there's pressure to keep it going.
Yeah.
Now, say they have an awkward puberty transition, or they don't want to do it anymore, or whatever reason. And it's hard to make that decision as a kid. You don't know what you want to do or even to be. Like,
I think we're
it's tough to navigate.
Yeah.
And I think we're in the last eras of like the traditional child actor getting into entertainment. 'Cause I always think about, I have a 4-year-old now, and we watch these YouTube videos of families like filming themselves.
Yeah.
We got to go to work somewhere or live somewhere and then go home and have separate lives. That was fun, and it felt very pointed and different. Yeah. I can't imagine being called down for breakfast and now there's a camera and a tripod and you're filming every day or however many days a week. You're filming your lifestyle.
You need that space to remove.
You're playing at the playground. Are you playing or are you creating content?
Yeah.
And like growing up like that and the instant feedback of likes and comments every day with your family, I think that's a harder upbringing now that we didn't.
And then maybe your parents are like feeding that. They're reading the comments and they're saying, "Oh, I bet you did more. They said this or that." You know.
Well, the documentaries on Netflix.
You're getting a little heavy. Cool it on the cookies.
Right.
You know, like anything.
Yeah.
That I feel like is a harder way to navigate. You have to be very disciplined. That there's not much separation.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So my YouTube channel with my daughter starts next week.
I was gonna say, how are you? How's it going?
Yeah. Oh God.
You want to see a studio, Mom?
I get that question a lot too. It's like, oh, would you ever put your kids in it? And it's like, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think so.
I like how they assume you would because you did it though.
Yeah, that's the formula that it's just gonna work. Right?
Like when you're doing it, it's like
I do think that we'd be able to navigate it a little better. Like in that,
you hope so,
you know. Like so in that's an advantage to begin with, you know.
And the challenge is I don't know about you, but like I don't know. Our parents went through what they went through to become the people they are to do the things that they did.
Yeah.
Us going through it, are we inherently the kind of people that are like, okay, this is what we want to make this commitment for our kid. We're going to drive. Yeah. And now it's on tape. But it used to be like 3-4.
The commitment is the hard part.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like, make that your entire world, really.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But I think about it. You know.
I get asked that. I think people just ask because they think it's like assumed, like, oh, you did it. And it's such a common thing you would put your kid in, not realizing it's not. Well, I've had friends ask, and I'm like, you know, you have to like not have a job, and that becomes your job. You can't casually put your kid in acting. Like even if it's not self-tape, you're driving places. Like you can't do that with having a job.
Yes. Right.
Like our parents could do that.
Take time off to do all of that.
Yeah. It became their job, but like
full time.
It was
an accident in all of our cases that became something, you know, very luckily quickly, which I think is the common case. Like you got a couple commercials, and now you got some momentum,
rolling,
and then it just becomes like your life.
Yeah. Do you remember any, like, of all the actors you worked with, any in particular have like a larger impact on your life, like where like so memorable? Like
I think Wes Craven, director, was one of my favorites. I remember him very specifically that he was so professional and he was so calm. I think most sets are always a very stressful environment. There's a lot of money and time is always on the line. So it's easy to get really stressed. So, and I remember I was on way bigger shoots than New Nightmare. And if the producers or the A-list talent are fighting, director, if there's any of that, it trickles down to the rest of the set, and the rest of the set is stressed because nobody is like the ship isn't being steered as smooth as it could be, and it's just hard for everyone. And I remember Wes was just cool, calm, collected. We finished under budget on the day that we said we were going to finish, which I don't think, I mean, at the time, I don't know about nowadays, but usually it often goes over a bit, you know?
Yeah.
And he was great. And he had a team that he knew worked really well. And I think he would use the same people for every film. And it was a big family.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
That's awesome to hear that, because like those huge directors and producers that have these massive careers, like sometimes you hear horrible stories about them and like being, you know, complete pieces of shit.
Yeah.
But when you
imagine steering a ship like that, though, also has to be
nightmare. I mean, I worked like now. I mean, even now, like you and I are both in the industry as adults. Like it's you see it, like you see the abuse of people. But hearing about someone like Wes Craven, who was like, you know, calm and methodical and like took care of his people and was able to still steer a massive ship for decades now. Yeah. Like, you know,
I think that gets talked really about more, I think, too, the people that can do that treat people like the people that treat people well. You hear like, I can choose who I want to work with as a director or producer because of the environment they make. And a lot of actors say that like the story doesn't always get chosen. Sometimes it's like, I want to work with that director because of like, you know, Chris Nolan, what he creates in the set sounds like ridiculous experiences.
Sure.
And not everyone is like that.
Yeah.
And I know you're working, you know, behind the scenes now.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Like, I think it's cool, you know, similar to Blake, and how like going full circle, but when you can choose to be in the industry in a different way.
Yeah. I think that's so funny. You're a focus puller now, and I do DIT. We kind of found our way back.
Well, we're going to end up working together.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
actually,
I'm excited
really
about it, actually.
Yeah. I think I didn't want to act. I didn't want to have anything to do with the film industry for many years. I think I kind of just moved on, and I had a roommate, and his girlfriend went back. She went to film school, and she went through this whole program, and I really wasn't in the headspace at the time for that. But she said, "You'd be a natural. This is actually kind of easy. Like you already know all of this if you ever wanted to." And I guess I'd never, to that point, considered like, oh, I can go back, but I don't have to be in front of the camera. Whereas I think growing up on set, that feels. I love the culture. I love the hours. I love the. You know, the
camaraderie.
It's like family, and then you move on to the next project, and then you're always doing something else. You're not like, you know, stuck in a warehouse or office or whatever. It's like it's always kind of fresh and new. It is feast or famine. It's not as stable as
cutthroat
gigs, but but I love the energy of being on set, and I think it took me a while to figure that out. So about the time she was finishing, I started going to the school. I wasn't sure. I thought I might end up in sounds, but they kind of took to camera. Yeah. And I started off ACing. I was second AC for a while, and then kind of transitioned to DIT. Yeah. And I've been doing that.
You like it?
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool because like I think we didn't choose to be in it, but it's you grew up doing it for so long. You still like the industry for the reasons you like it.
100%.
I've been like writing ideas for like funny videos for so many years, but like never went to do anything with it.
Sure.
And kind of like now, me and Blake did. Someone reached out to him for a podcast, like the same way we were talking about how do you know all these random requests. Yeah. But then he's like, I would love to. You guys can be on together because I heard you're both friends. Yeah. And we're like, you know what? Let's do that. Like, and it was like really no. So we did that one.
Nice.
And then it was just really fun, and it felt good.
Sure.
And then we're like, we might as well just try it. And then now it's like writing videos and doing a little on social media, but it's just kind of nice. Yeah. Not for any need, but just for fun.
Yeah.
But sponge your own. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It is interesting that like you decided you didn't want to have anything to do with it for a long time, right? We're like turned off by the idea of it. Yeah. And I was the same exact way. Like I wanted nothing to do with this. Yeah. And then you find yourself back in it, and you realize that this industry as a whole, like the biz, is kind of, it's ingrained, like it's a part of me now. Like I you know, especially, I mean, you started so young, like it's in your blood, right? And it just feels like where I belong, no matter where I am in it, like just being in that world, it feels really important to me, you know? So I think that's
Did
like
you talk about your experience when you're on the sets? I'm just curious. Like, do people know about it? Like, do they know about it? Do they ask about it?
Cause like, I'm like an elder now, you know? Sure. I'm like 40.
But not many have like more Little Rascals.
Well, here's a good example. Here's a good example. Like on All American, this show that I do, like it's all very young actors, right? And when they found out that I was in Little Rascals, they're like, "You're like a fucking legend." Right. And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Like yeah,
you know. So I'm actually curious. Like, have you ever?
Similar experience.
It's funny.
I never lead with it, but it.
No, me neither. But it always comes up.
Is it done very different, like in positive, in that perspective, in those cases?
So yeah,
Right. You know how to navigate it better now.
Negative.
But it's not like a random person like, hey, do that voice. They're almost like, that's really cool. You did it.
Yeah, it actually does feel a little more. What's the word? I think because they're in the industry and they're on set, it's not like a fan thing. It's like, that's
Totally
cool.
Complimentary.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
You're already my friend. We're just going to talk about it as another topic. It's
Right.
not a,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, tell me all about that. This is, there's not a framing shift. Some people put themselves in, they like, now I'm treating you.
What if turns out after?
I'm putting on the fan hat.
Yeah.
And then it seems like a little bit of a more stilted interaction. It's not intentional. It's not, their
Just
fault.
cool
They get
trick.
excited. I've
Right.
done it to people too, but
Sure.
it's like a psychology thing. But on set, people are like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But they stay in that same frame.
It doesn't change.
Yes, because they still expect you to do your job. You still expect them to do your job, and you're in the environment, and like how you're supposed to handle yourself is like, you're supposed to be respectful and professional.
I get that now. And
so interesting, like how we have to navigate that now. It's so much different than like the fan reactions, like in public.
I get that in my business now. When people find out, it's like the party trick you can bring out sometimes. That's kind of like if you know a language or a random skill, like you're like, oh, you know magic, like, oh, you were in this movie that I like, and then you just keep going on with whatever you're talking about. It's not like a pointed break, asking 47 questions.
Yeah, it's like a fun novelty to bring to the conversation.
Right.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm glad, coming back to it kind of on my own terms. I think it happened at the right time. Yes, it was much later, but it feels good. Like it feels like a good balance. And I still kind of acting again a little bit. I did that short film a couple years ago.
That's cool.
I'm real happy with. And then most recently, I was just on a game show. It was 99 to Beat. It was on Fox. Oh, cool. So that season just ended. So I didn't make it.
I think there's like a circuit, I think, of these like Fox game shows, because I've had cool reach out. But I think now they do every year. No, but I think a lot of these shows every year they'll do like a version where they have like a 90s pop star or actor as the contestant.
So I was
I assume that was the reason.
Yeah.
Like
a novelty act. But hey,
but that makes it fun.
I got to do it. It was a lot of fun.
You ever use your fame to get laid?
Oh. Hell yeah.
It's interesting because like when I think of Miko Hughes, like the actor, it's like this really adorable little child. So like the idea of like using that to get
Hey girl, you want to make some real cute babies?
Yeah.
What's up?
in college, when people would remember, I'm like, I didn't say English as Froggy and I talk like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and for some reason, like, that's like, going to college. I'm like, okay, I can go with that. Yeah. But like they're thinking of our like child version self in present time, which is the funny part. So
something creepy about that.
Obvious about it that it works. Like, yeah, you like that baby, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, what's up? Oh, like, is that what you're thinking right now? I don't want to think about it. This is working. So I'm not gonna...
but afterwards you're kind of like, that's weird.
That's super weird.
No, I got to open that real quick.
Yeah. It didn't matter anymore after a minute, but I can't say that I have used them many times, but
I never lead with that, but
yeah.
But it's, I don't know, what days it, why not?
Yeah, why not? Well, dude,
This was awesome.
this is awesome. Thank you, Miko.
I'm so glad to reconnect.
Man.
This is really cool.
We're like a little fraternity.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we appreciate it, man.
Cool. Absolutely. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps. Our residuals don't.